Just a quick video reminder of some of the things we talked about and some of the things you can be working on in the meantime of us working on the issue together. Like we talked about, heat and ice. Certainly you can heat up the forearm muscle here. You can also heat more towards the elbow where the discomfort actually lies the most. It's okay. Just make sure that at the end of the day, at the end of activity, at the end of the self-care, that if it feels inflamed, it feels sore, then you can throw some ice on it, okay? Heat is going to be beneficial though, initially, especially for you who's had this issue for a long time. The likelihood of inflammation in there all the time is pretty low. Okay, so like one thing we talked about were the forearm stretches, right? So you can do these whenever, wherever. Okay, arm out straight, pulling the fingers down and in, feeling a good stretch all throughout that forearm. Hold for at least 15 seconds. If you do a lot less than that, then you're just going through the motions. You're not really doing a lot. Make sure that you're pulling with a moderate amount of force. You know, we don't want to do way too much, but we don't want to do way too little either, okay? So a little bit of discomfort with that is okay. Next is using a ball to roll out the muscle. I have a tennis ball here in a sock just because it doesn't roll out from underneath me quite as easy. So for you, we're just going to get up underneath the ball, right into that meat, those tender areas, push down, drive into the ball, and just do some small motions back and forth, hitting those tender spots in the forearm. Okay. Next. It's another one you can do almost whenever, wherever. Okay, so I'm going to lay it on your forearm. It doesn't need to be laying on a table, but it helps me illustrate my point. We're going to take our hand, find those tender spots. I know you know where they are. You're going to drive down in them, hold for a good 10 seconds minimum with these before you let off and find another spot. Another little bit more involved version of that is bringing the wrist up, applying the pressure, holding, and then driving that wrist down, okay? This is, I think, will be a great one for you. It's going to help break up scar tissue. So again, bring the wrist up, apply pressure, force the wrist down towards the ground. And when we do that, the pressure starts to increase as our wrist comes down, okay? So that's good. Work that all around the forearm area. You can work all the way up to that uncomfortable spot. Which brings me to the last point of cross friction. So taking a couple fingers, going right over that uncomfortable spot, good amount of pressure, and side swiping, okay? Back and forth. Our muscles run down towards the fingers, so we want to go perpendicular to that, okay? Or make an X. So muscles coming down, I'm going to go make a 90-degree with it. I'm going to brush almost back and forth like I'm brushing my teeth. Good amount of pressure. We want to be fairly aggressive with this, okay? Just like the other two items I just did. We want to be kind of aggressive with this stuff, okay? Like I said, if it feels inflamed and really sore after the fact, then throw some ice on it, okay? Then the last thing I wanted to say that you can try is just some exercises, some basic exercises. You can use anything around the house that you got. Me, I've got a little lunch cooler here. It's empty, not super heavy. So I'm going to lay my forearm across the table. I'm going to bring my wrist up, hand the weight to my wrist, and then I'm going to slowly let it down towards the ground. Once I reach the end, I'm going to hand it off to my good hand. I'm going to reset, grab again, and slowly let it back down. Okay? And that's how I repeat that. We're only working on the weighted downward motion. Okay? I think those are a lot of good things that can really help out. Remember that consistency is key. If we do this a couple times, it's not probably going to do anything, but if we do it regularly, it should add up and have a positive effect for you. I know you're busy as a foreman, but doing these things is, we got to take care of ourselves too. So if you have questions, always feel free to reach out.